advancement, but constant use of speed prism play. I mean, he ended up getting the robotics base specifically for warp prism speed.
Indeed.
Grammatic
We're going to be getting into game number 6 of this best of 7 series, guys. In the top right spawn location, he's up 3-2. He dropped one of his match points in the last game, but he has an opportunity on his own map pick to try to take the series home. It is going to be the Red Protoss TT Esports mYiAbomb.
And his opponent bring it back to 3-2. Not quite there yet to bring it to the ace match, but he's going to try this game on Cloud Kingdom. It is mYiAbomb, currently playing for Team mYi.
And speaking of mYi, mYiAnsanity is the sponsor for this show match, so show them a little bit of love. Give them a follow on Facebook. Try to convince them that this has not been 100 euros in vain. And perhaps we will see some more awesome show matches coming out reasonably soon. Cross fingers. I'm going to do my best to convince them. But we shall see. And this is a map that I was saying in the lobby, mYiAbomb really likes this map. It's a map that he really enjoys using Warp Prisms on quite a bit. And we saw him utilize Warp Prisms for the first time in this series to great effect in the last game, and he really knows how to do that multi-pronged aggression. I feel like that's probably the area of his gameplay that's the strongest, his ability to focus on multitasking very, very well.
Yeah, while still keeping his money low. I mean, there were very few times where he peaked above 1k, even when he was on 4 bases and using 2 3-pronged attacks consistently to try and divert his opponent. And this is something that mYiAbomb himself has acknowledged, is that his multitasking really is his downfall. But he's definitely come a long way and taken out a lot of really, really spectacular players. So he is by no means a pushover, specifically because of his lack of multitasking in comparison to some other pro gamers out there.
Yeah, and of course when you go into a new game, which is essentially what Heart of the Swarm is, it changes things up so much that it's essentially an entirely new game. But when you go into a new game like this, mechanics are really important, but it's the stage of the game as well where creativity and the creative players are going to be the strongest.
Yeah.
So we saw mYiAbomb have a lot of his success at the beginning, at the beta, and just after release of StarCraft of Wings of Liberty. And we're going to be seeing, I would not be surprised to see him have a reasonably decent amount of success as well, once again, in the Heart of the Swarm scene, just close to after release as well, because this is just where people don't understand the game 100%, so being able to be creative and being able to come up with new innovative styles that people haven't seen before and being able to pull them off is exactly what makes a player like mYiAbomb so formidable in this stage of the sort of meta.
Definitely. And we have 2 gateways coming down here out of mYiAbomb, off of 2 gas, so most likely this will be some early stalker pressure.
Which mYiAbomb is not opting for.
Yeah, it's going to be an inverse of what we generally see. Although I'm assuming that this is going to be a one base Stargate play yet again. Cloud Kingdom definitely works to that quite well.
Yeah, of course, there's a reasonable amount of dead space behind the main and the natural. Stargate play is a lot like Muta play in the fact that all air play is kind of similar in this, but once you get the third on this map, air play is a lot easier to put down, because it's sort of like the easiest way to come into the main is through the third. So once you take that third, it's going to become a lot more difficult for air toss to be viable. But if you can hit before the opponent takes that third, before they're able to fortify that position, it's really easy to harass the main and really easy to harass the natural.
Yeah, so here comes the third gate as the probe is waiting for those 150 minerals to place it down. So this will be 3-gate Stargate play. And what will we see first? Will be some more Phoenix play that worked ridiculously well for mYiAbomb in the first couple games of the series.
But the Phoenix play to remember is that he wasn't up against a player going for stalkers with...
Yeah.
Is this going to be Blink or DTs? What do you think?
I think it's DTs based on the fact that they're 2 gates down. But I could be wrong. It's a great thing to punish mYiAbomb because he's continually not gone for that Robotech.
Yeah, the thing to remember is that the DT Shrine is 100 gas cheaper, so he does in fact have the money to start it up right now if he so desires. It is going to be Blink, though.
No obs. This is... Oh, because he has a Mothership Core.
Yeah, no obs, and there are going to be Phoenixes on the way, so Blink Stalkers against Phoenixes. Generally, this is a pretty good side of the build order for mYiAbomb.
Yeah.
Could be getting the advantage here.
With this, though, he needs to spend utmost care trying to keep this Mothership Core alive. If this dies, his push is weakened significantly, to the point where he can almost do no damage.
As long as there's a Sentry of the Force Field there and he loses that Mothership Core, he's essentially just done.
Yeah.
And of course, Phoenixes do not do bonus damage to the Mothership Core. It would take a total of 19 Phoenixes to kill it off. But that's not all that many shots if you have 3-4 Phoenixes out, so... We'll see what he can do.
Actually, going for one of the Proxy Paladins. It's a trade here.
Pylon trade. Is he gonna get it? Yeah, he should be able to get this pretty easily. Is he? Oh,
just barely. And the Phoenix are actually going to town in this Mothership Core, already losing shields.
Oh, and down it goes. That's actually horrendous for A-Bomb.
mYiAbomb is in a dominating position right now.
That was really well held there by mYiAbomb, and A-Bomb is going to try to retreat as quickly as he can. His blink is not yet done, so he can't quite leave. And this looks like the show match may be coming to a close, guys. mYiAbomb taking a significant lead. I'm going to pick up a couple of free units here, trying to lose as little as he can. Blink is almost done. He is warping in more units at home, and I think, yeah, A-Bomb looks like he wants to expand and try to survive, which I think is probably his best bet here. Just hoping for mYiAbomb to expand as well. Well, mYiAbomb's going to see that he wants to expand, and I think mYiAbomb's going to flood and just go for it at this point.
He does actually have a Proxy Paladin in position as well to try and deny this with a couple Zealot Warpins, which he can totally afford right now. His army is just hugely in favor in any engagement that A-Bomb is looking to take. I mean, despite the fact that A-Bomb has Blink, in terms of sheer numbers, there's really not much he can do for, unless he gets like the most cost-effective engagement possible.
Yeah. And A-Bomb, actually mYiAbomb's going to expand, so A-Bomb could go for an expansion of his own. Looks like he wants to. There it is. So both of the players expanding around the same time. mYiAbomb saying, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. Mothership Core is coming out for both of them. A-Bomb, of course, already had one, but it went down very quickly.
And it's so risky not getting that robotics facility. He could have kept the aggression going, even though he lost the Mothership Core, if that was the case.
Gonna lose another free Stalker here.
This is really nice by Whiterod to be able to continually keep up and picking at his opponent, whittling his army down bit by bit.
Every one of these, every one of these Stalkers is so crucial for A-Bomb to keep alive because he's so far behind at this point. He needs to try to make up for it in some way. He's down in economy by a little bit. He's down by 4 workers at the moment, not the biggest, but that's just another area where he's down at a deficit. And
wow, double expansion coming out here from A-Bomb. Natural just barely finishing up, getting a third base.
With the pylon.
Yep.
On the other hand, mYiAbomb has an army that's large enough to really push here, but at the same time, a lot of that is Phoenixes. So if he's just going for Phoenix harass, it's not something that can actually kill off that base.
Yeah, but with that extra commission of the 400 minerals to economy, his additional gateways are delayed so long. He should really be banking himself up a nice gateway army to try and defend against mYiAbomb's already... It's pretty much set in stone that he's going to be counterattacking sometime soon after he gets this Nexus completed.
I actually like this from A-Bomb. He's going to be trying to do a little bit of damage here with these Stalkers, but he needs to make sure he doesn't get overzealous here. Yeah, he's just going to leave now. He's going to try to pick up a couple of these sentries and then probably just leave. That would be the best option. The Phoenixes aren't really able to pick off.
These are doing great damage.
Oh, but look at this though. mYiAbomb has the Stalkers trapped in the main.
And this is literally the entirety of A-Bomb's army right now. He's just making probes. He has nothing waiting for him at home. If these die, he has nothing left on the field.
But they did do a good amount of damage, and he will be able to get out with 5 of them alive. So overall, I'd say it was a reasonably good trade for him, considering that he got the probe count evened out as well. The question now is, yeah, mYiAbomb's going to go for the counterattack, and I think it's pretty much going to be set in stone that A-Bomb's going to lose this third at the very least. He has a Dark Shrine on the way now that is definitely going to help him out if there's no observers on the map, but does he have any observers? Yes, he does have an observer. Oh, this is
he has learned. It's taken a couple games, but mYiAbomb has come upon the newfound knowledge that observers are actually pretty good units.
And here comes mYiAbomb.
Oh, he's going to look to defend his third with this. I don't know if this is the right choice. These Stalkers are pretty much committed to death.
Yeah, this is a terrible decision here by A-Bomb, but he will get away.
Nice.
He does cross the pylon and get away. So overall,
he does actually manage to save a couple probes as well.
Not bad compared to how bad it could have been, I guess. If he defends his natural, he isn't dead because I mean mYiAbomb's ahead in economy now again, but mYiAbomb doesn't have a third yet. Just something to remember. So if A-Bomb gets the best engagement the world has ever seen, then maybe. With Photon Overcharge and enough energy for another Photon Overcharge afterwards, and no Phoenixes left, we'll have to see. This pylon is only just now finishing up, so the reinforcements for White are taking a little while, and here come the DTs. Is there an Observer with the army, though? Yes, there is. And Observer is going to spot these, and they're going to die.
A-Bomb is not going to be happy about that.
No, that's a really big investment.
Yeah.
And there's these zealots here.
Especially with the amount of sentry energy, too, they could have been the thing to mitigate the force fields if he morphed them into Archons. It was a bit of a gamble sending them both out at the same time.
Even trying to warp in a couple cannons. Last attempt at surviving. And I like this. White Red knows he's in a really good position, so he's just going to chill there.
Yeah, he's continually making probes, too.
Army.
Interestingly enough, these guys are about even on worker count. Even after that third base going down for A-Bomb, and he lost a good 10 workers there or so.
A-Bomb needs to be careful here. He's trying to move forward. I don't like that idea very much. With that one Void Ray giving a vision of the high ground as well, White Red's in a great position. It's not like A-Bomb can really even stand stuff on the high ground to do some damage here, but
I love
Archon, it's a good idea.
I love him to make a couple more immortals before he
here we
can
go.
this assault, but here he goes. White Rod, 30 supply lead going into this fight.
Force fields are pretty good, but
The Observer was sniped.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, there is enough for 3 Envisions on the Mothership core, though.
Yeah, that's true. If he snipes the Mothership core with the Blink Stalkers, warps and DTs, he could be in an okay position to hold this.
And that could actually flip the game in his favor. Yeah, 3 DTs are on the way, so...
I like this. The question is, can he snipe the Mothership core?
Oh my gosh, this is such a good decision by White Rod. Nope, maybe.
Oh, they're
playing with my heart.
DTs.
Oh, the DCs are actually going around to the main base.
Yeah, there's a cannon there. There's detection.
Yeah, and he has the means to chrono boost out another Observer as well, so...
But, yeah, this is... I don't really... If he warps in some more DTs at home as well, I don't object to this, but... Actually, the supply counts are evening out.
Yeah.
This is interesting. DT's moving on in now. There is a cannon there. Is he going to go for the cannon? Yes, he is. One DT goes down. This cannon should go down before the DT goes down. And
going to be close, though.
So yeah, he recalled all of his units.
That's a huge win for A-Bomb. Forcing
really
your opponent back, and now he has 2 DTs to just ravage his opponent mineral line. The Observer's only halfway done. He does have the Mothership core using Envision, though, and this DT will barely get out of range in time.
See the third. They're probably to scout the third, but he sees that the third is probably not as early as he'd feared it was as well.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a little happy about that. A mini win here for A-Bomb in seeing that third. But forcing the opponent's back was the biggest win of all for him now. If he grabs his own third, he could try to deny the third of his opponent at this point. Just looking at the army supplies here. He's actually only down by 6 in army supply.
Yeah. And there's 6 full energy sentries here for White Rod. It's a lot of supply. I mean, and that's pretty much dead supply when you have an Archon or 2 in your army. A-Bomb's getting a Templar Archives behind this. He's placing a third base down. I mean, he's actually equalizing this game from what was almost a completely one-sided game.
Yeah, I mean, I just took a little bit of a look at chat a second ago, and Docholarin said White Rock could have A-moved a minute ago, and it's true, he could have, but just opting to play a little bit too safely, and ended up being forced back by those Dark Templar, and, you know, playing safely is not always the answer, as White Rock has shown us here. Taking a look at the income tab, A-Bomb's down by 10 workers. It's a good number, but he's in a significantly better position than he was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I feel it's like, if he had played safe while getting himself up at third base, that's cool, alright? Continuing your upgrades, getting another base.
I like this.
Yeah.
The hidden expansion in the bottom right here for A-Bomb. He needs something to... He's swung the pendulum back a little bit in his favor, but he knows that he needs a little bit of something to really turn this in his favor, and he's going to go for a hidden expansion while moving out with a lot of Stalkers here. I don't think he knows about this massive count of Void Rays. There's 6 Void Rays out at the moment, and Mass Stalker's not going to do well against that.
Yeah, his probe count's still pretty low, though, to A-Bomb. He's committing all these Stalkers to death, and he needs to be really careful about getting out there.
Yeah. Not surprised to see him blink out. And mYiAbomb's actually going Colossus now as well, so he's
I really like this choice.
Void Rays.
It's collecting.
And he's gonna have Colossi, so he's just getting a bit of everything here. I'd like to see a couple of these High Templar morphed into one or two more Archons, but not going to be opting for that. But I do like what mYiAbomb's doing here, because as long as he remains aggressive while not actually pushing in, mYiAbomb's sort of stuck in his base. He can't move out or he's going to lose a base. And if he can't move out, he can't really see, he can't really find what's going on at mYiAbomb's base here. And mYiAbomb has a proxy pylon, but he doesn't know the base is there, so he's not even going to be able to really do much with that. He has one probe out on the map that's now going home.
Yeah. He was so close to scouting that 4th base, too.
Yeah.
And mYiAbomb is actually sitting in a pretty good spot right now. He has +2 weapons to the +2 of his opponents, so even in upgrades, getting a fair amount of Archons up, and Colossus range hasn't quite finished yet as well, and he only has 1 on the field.
Gotta be careful with this. Nice storms going down on the entirety of the army, but the Void Rays aren't going to be able to move in, and mYiAbomb is taking a massive supply lead here. The storm's continuing to ravage the army. Is it going to be enough?
It's just taking shields down.
Yeah.
mYiAbomb's going to hold this engagement, and a 70 supply lead.
Yeah, another storm going down to do quite a bit of damage here. The shields are now gone. These 2 Archons are going to go down almost instantly. And that was not the trade that mYiAbomb needed, that mYiAbomb needed. He pretty much just squandered his comeback. But he is going to try to go for the 3rd with these Stalkers. If he gets it, he may be in an okay position, but I don't think he will. Colossus does go down.
He needs to make sure these Stalkers live, too. I think it was an interesting decision to engage his opponent's 3rd base while he was taking a 4th of his own. That's a 400 mineral investment that... I mean, you just kind of spent those 400 minerals instead of investing in your army supply, whereas mYiAbomb's on 3 base. You scouted the 3rd timing, you knew it wasn't all too far behind from your own.
And I liked what he was doing with posturing initially, but going in was the wrong decision, as we just saw, just getting absolutely ravaged here.
It's really difficult to call it, though, in the Heart of the Storm. I mean, it's a new game. There are new units that have new abilities.
And it looks like mYiAbomb once again going to be trying to push for the win. This time with the maxed out army, he has no reason to wait because he doesn't really gain anything from waiting at this point. So I don't think he's going to squander his opportunity this time around. This probe is not going to like what he sees. Is he really going to try to take a 5th base? This is like Titan expansion timing.
Oh my god. Titan's a complete boss, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so mYiAbomb is looking to push up here, but the storms. 4 more at his disposal.
And they are actually doing pretty well. I just don't think there's enough here for him to...
Oh, he's losing all these probes, too.
These probes are going to go down. The Zealots are moving in, but they don't have charge. With charge, he may have been able to do a good amount of damage. But without charge, they just are so much less effective.
Yeah.
A lot of workers go down there. mYiAbomb up to a total of 35 worker kills. I estimate about 20 died right there. And mYiAbomb's trying to hold until charge is done, but charge takes 140 seconds. So, this is not exactly looking good for mYiAbomb. 2 gateways get unpowered as well. He is saturating that 4th base of his, but slowly but surely. But I think he's about to die.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty freaking hard to hold.
The Zealots are trapped in the back as well. The Observer is going to allow those DTs to go down immediately. And I think the Fat Lady is singing. Almost nothing left for mYiAbomb. He put up a good fight, but there is the GG. mYiAbomb takes... Yeah, silly for me, says mYiAbomb, but mYiAbomb takes this show match 4-2. Well played. And mYiAbomb is our champion, 4-2. We saw 6 great games out of these 2 players. If you tuned in late, if you missed a couple of the games, don't worry, the VODs will be on our YouTube channel. That is Map Control Co.